Welcome to our annual Veterans Day ceremony. Thank you for taking the time to join with us today. Because of COVID-19, we're doing this by video. Once again, thank you for joining us. Please stand now for our flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Veterans Day is really important. It's important to all Americans. We owe so much to our veterans. We owe our freedom. We have the freedom to do what we want on a daily basis because of the brave men and women that have served our country and continue to serve our country. Each year, we have hundreds of people that attend our Veterans Day ceremony. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, we have to do this by video. But we will never leave out the veterans. We will never leave them out. We consider the veterans our treasures, and we think of our veterans each and every day here in Sea Isle City. One of my proudest moments as mayor has been the renaming of JFK Boulevard to Veterans Boulevard. Also, naming the street alongside VFW Post 1963 in honor of our veterans. But I believe the most important thing that I've done was going to Trenton, testifying before a Senate committee with our good friend Joe Griffiths in order to get all veterans free beach tags. Sea Isle City was the first community in the state of New Jersey to do that program, and I thank Joe Griffiths and I thank the New Jersey Senate and the legislature for passing that bill that all veterans receive a free beach tag. Our local veteran post 1963 is a Sea Isle treasure. There's not a time that we ask them for something that they don't step forward to be one of the first in line to help us. The veterans here in Sea Isle City continuously work with our community to help our community grow and to help our community make better things happen. We thank the veterans, and we thank the veterans of post 1963 especially for all that they do for our community. And now I'm proud to call on some of our local veterans to give their thoughts on Veterans Day.
My name is Dudley Mcginty. I was in the U.S. Army. I went in the Army on 1966. And I was discharged in 1972. I was a sergeant and I was a military policeman.
Name is Charles Haynes. I was in the Navy, served in Vietnam, 68 through 73.
My name is Mike Rogers. Was in the Army from September 1965 until September 1968.
Joe Robinson. I was a petty officer, 3rd class in the Korean War.
Hi, I am Joe McClenahan. I was in the U.S. Army and I served from 1968 to 1970.
Name is John Orlowski. I'm in the U.S. Air Force from 1961 to 1992.
I'm Mark McGinty. I was in the service. I joined. It was a fun day. April 1st, 1968. It was a good April's Fool day. Discharged in 72. Sergeant, United States Air Force, medic.
So my name is Tom McCool. I was in the United States Navy from 1962 to 1966.
My name is Francis Roach. I was in the U.S. Navy. I was a 3rd class petty officer, storekeeper.
My name is Joe Griffiths. Born and raised in Philadelphia, but I've had a home in Seattle for 50 years. I was in the United States Army. I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I was in Vietnam from 1967 to 1968. And now I presently host the Welcome Home Veterans Radio Show, and we are about to start our 9th year.
My name is Robert Bowman, United States Army. I was over in Vietnam in 1966 and 67.
Okay, as far as Seattle City is concerned, they treat the veterans greatly.
As a veteran today, I like to think that we are reminders to hopefully our politicians and mostly the rest of the people in the country that we are the symbol of American freedom.
A veteran is a member of a brotherhood comprised of men and women who have shared the same experience. If you were to ask someone, if a civilian were to ask someone in the military, what was it like when you first joined, and what was your actions like while you were in the military, you would get an answer. However, if only another military person really understands what it's like to have gone through the training, the emotional strain, and the physical strain. And the same thing applies to other veterans of the fire department, the police force, teachers.
So it's important to me for a few reasons. When I was young, I wasn't on a good path, and the Navy helped me straighten out. And then when you think about veterans and you stop and give it a moment, you realize what the sacrifice most of them made from a point of view of leaving their family, from a point of view of how they were compensated, and not even thinking about the obvious, the ones that didn't come back because they chose to serve.
Well, it gives me a great sense of pride and accomplishment, and it gives me a personal feeling of happiness. And I'm glad that I was able to serve my country during a time of war. And I'm happiest most that 52 years later we can talk about it.
It's just a feeling. You'll find it all with all the other vets. It's a camaraderie that is born within itself of those who have volunteered to defend your country, your flag. There's no way to explain it unless you've been there, done that.
It was a maturity. I was finished high school partially through college, matured a lot, met a lot of good service friends. Gave me actually enough background and education to get future jobs in the medical field.
It means a lot to me. It means the world to me on Veterans Day and any kind of ceremonies that you see nowadays. The flag means the world to me. We fought for it, we carried it, we were taught not to let it down, and we want to continue that to make America what it should be.
The veterans of today are no different than the veterans that boarded the Durham boats in Bucks County to go over and fight the Hessians on Christmas night a couple hundred years ago to really start the freedom of our country. The veterans that fought in the Civil War are no different than the veterans of today because they fought for freedom that there was a disagreement upon. The veterans that fought in World War I went over to help our allies in France to win their war are the same veterans as today. The veterans that fought in World War II went over to Europe and Africa and all over the world to fight for our freedom. Because those veterans are the same as our veterans today, and they were fighting because our country was attacked in Pearl Harbor. The veterans that went to Korea are the same veterans as today because they went to Korea. Most of them, a lot of them, after fighting in World War II, got drafted and were enlisted to go to Korea to stop the spread of communism. And the veterans that went to Vietnam to help our neighbors in the South and to also stop the spread of communism. And the Vietnam veterans are just the same as the veterans that fought in the Revolutionary War. And our Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan veterans have been fighting the longest wars in our country, over 20 years.
Well, as a veteran, they gave me the opportunity to become a vendor to sell hot dogs on the beach, and it is a beautiful job, and you're dealing with a lot of beautiful people.
Well, any veteran that's in trouble can come to us, you know. If he has a real problem or something, we can try and help him out. We try and help other veterans find the help they need through the VA. Some of them, they don't even know how to register with the VA, so we help them with that. We try to help any of the organizations in the city.
Well, historically, veterans have been excellent employees because they've had an ingrained discipline from their time in the service. So most people were glad to hire them on board because of that reason.
So I guess basically, from before the Revolutionary War to present, veterans have two things in common. They raised their hand to die for our freedom, and they signed a blank check saying, "I will give up to including my life."
Now we're going to hear from some of our community members and city employees.
Thank you, veterans, for your service.
Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, veterans.
The Sea Isle City Beach Patrol would like to thank our veterans for service to our country.
Thanks, veterans.
Freedom is not free. Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, veterans.
Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, veterans.
Thank you for your service, veterans. Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day. Okay, PFC Joe Monahan, 52546083, Air Defense School, El Paso, Texas.
From Sea Isle City, we'd like to thank all the veterans for your service. Thank you very much.
Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service.
Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. Thank you, veterans. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, veterans, for your service. Thank you, veterans, for your service.
Thank you, veterans, for your service.
Thank you, veterans, for your service.
Thank you for joining us today. And remember, here in Sea Isle City, we just don't honor our veterans on Veterans Day. We thank and honor them every day. Happy Veterans Day.